Yo, what's going on YouTube? Today we are back here on another Battle Royale draft. And in this one, well, we are going to be showing you how to draft. So, I've seen a lot of comments about people wondering, like, what's the best strategy to draft? How do you draft? Like, that kind of thing. So, in this video, I will be going over how I would draft the best team possible for me. In this round, you get a diamond player, and this is going to be who you build your team around. I personally never pick the starting pitcher. Never. There's no reason to, because you probably will take him out after the first inning. And there's a 1 in 5 chance you get him anyway. So, it's possible you won't even get to use him. And I meant you would take out like a regular pitcher, like a bronze pitcher or a silver pitcher. And then you would put in like a better reliever after the first inning. But in this round, I always take a good hitter or a good relief pitcher. Always. Obviously, that's the only two choices left. In this case, Papelbon is really good, but I don't see him having that high velocity that I think he should use with his fastball. Even though his hits per 9 is 99 and his Ks per 9 is 87 and his walks per 9, all that is really good. He doesn't have that much of a difference in his pitches. A fastball, a splitter, a slider, a changeup. The splitter and the changeup are going to work together, and the fastball isn't as high as I want it to be, so I really don't need that card, the Jonathan Papelbon. I would personally take the Yadier Molina here, or the Nolan Arenado. And since I always need a catcher, I'm going to go with Yadier Molina, and I haven't used him. So I'm going to go with him. Wow, we get a gold card right away. Well, this sucks, because what I would do in one of my 2 gold rounds is draft a really good left-handed pitcher. We don't get one here. We get flashback Ryan Howard, gold starting pitcher, so we're not going to worry about him. I've used Ozzie Smith, and I don't like him, so I'm not going to worry about him. It's either going to be Jason Worth or Ryan Howard. We got Yadier Molina, who has absolutely no speed. We don't want another player just like that. So, we're going to go with Jason Worth, who has a really good contact versus lefties, really good power versus righties, and good contact versus righties, as well as really good steal and speed. We're going to go with Jason Worth. But for you guys, I would definitely take a strong left-handed reliever here, or even a really good right-handed reliever, closing pitcher, if that was an option. Into the next couple of rounds, you're going to want to look for really good right-handed throwing pitchers at the silver level. We don't get any here, and now I'm kind of looking for really good contact. You want a lot of good lefties in your lineup, but we don't get any here. We get a switch hitter, but I really don't like hitting with Carlos Santana, especially because he's not that good at hitting from the left side unless you swing at the power, and I don't. I'm going to go with Matt Holliday here. I know I already got a slow guy, but he's got really good contact, and he can play anywhere in the outfield, and if I need to move him to first base, I can. Here we go. This is a pretty good round. We have Chase Headley, who I'm not going to get because I don't need a third baseman. I'm sure I could get a better one in future rounds. Clint Robinson, really good contact versus lefties and righties. Really good vision. He's not fast. He's also boosted to an 83 overall today, or an 80 overall today. So he's got 88 contact versus lefties and 74 contact versus righties. So he's pretty good there, but I don't think I want another slow guy on my team. Jacoba Chamberlain, decent, 4-seam fastball, slider, and a curveball. That's okay. I think I'm going to go with him, actually, just because I want to get a strong throwing reliever. Here we go. This is a really good point to make. In the last round, if you didn't want to take Jacoba Chamberlain, you could have taken a starting pitcher. Always take bronze starting pitchers. Never take anything higher. You're going to take him out eventually. He's not going to stay in for an entire 9-inning game if you somehow went into extra innings and, continued on. More than likely, if you got to the 3rd inning, you'd take him out for another batter. I would never draft anybody higher than a silver. But when you have a guy who has a weird arm angle, definitely take him every time. I could take Coco Crisp here, but I just drafted him in the last episode, and I really don't need him again. I'm going to take Carson Smith because he's got a weird release, and I can use him to my advantage in later rounds. This is the only time I would ever take a silver pitcher. A starting pitcher, I mean. If it's a common round or a bronze round and you get a silver pitcher. I would not take him in this round because I can use Rajai Davis, and he's got super fast speed. But it is an option just because he is in a bronze round. Next round, I would definitely look to take a starting pitcher. All these guys are very low bronze, and this guy doesn't have that many different pitches. There's a fastball and a slider. He's got 2 fastballs, and they don't really move that much, especially because he's only got 58 break. Definitely just get your starting pitchers off the board and move on. Continuing on, now we don't need a starting pitcher. We could go with Victor Martinez, who has really, really good contact. Or we could go with somebody like Santiago Calcia, who is a strong right-handed thrower, has a 2-seam, 4-seam, curveball, and a slider. And he's got really good hits per 9. I'm going to go ahead and take him, especially because he's a closer. He's more used to that role of not giving up runs. This is a good round as well. We have a starting pitcher. I'm not going to take him because he is a bronze. I'm not a bronze, sorry, a silver. Could take Nick Vincent here, who's got really good stats across the board. A slider, a 4-seam, a 2-seam, and a changeup. I don't need another relief pitcher, especially if he's right-handed. I don't like Levin Longoria, but I do like Trevor Story, especially because I used him in the last episode and I really liked him. Come on. Give me a good player. We got Ryan Zimmerman. I really don't want to use him. I could use Gene Segura. He's really fast. I like this Billy Butler card, but he's so slow. I'm not going to take a starting pitcher. That's okay, though. I guess I could start hitting for power with him, but we're going to take him. We need more righties. This is kind of trash. I'm not going to lie. We're just going to take another starting pitcher. Get him off the board. Here's a common round. This is where you take a relief pitcher. Unless you have used all your relief pitchers already, there's no need to take a position player because you would never play him. And you really don't need a starting pitcher because he's not that good. You will never probably use the relief pitcher out of the pen anyways, so just take him, pick him up, and don't use him. 13th round, nobody good. Go to the starting pitcher, get them off the board. 14th round, what are we getting here? A gold. This is what I like to see. We get a good closing pitcher right here. Yes, there's Ian Kinsler and Adrian Beltre on the board. He's slow. Why am I getting all the slow players? Holy cow. But we do get a really strong closing pitcher right there. 67 break and 74 velocity isn't that good, but really good hits per 9 and Ks per 9. 4-seam fastball, slider, changeup, screwball, or I don't know, but we'll definitely take him. We're just going to go through this a little faster now. Definitely get a really good lefty out of the pen. I can use him. I need one more good lefty. Pablo Sandoval's an option there. Brock Holt's also an option. I'm going to take Brock Holt just because he bats pretty good contact and he can play a lot of positions. Starting pitcher right here. Get him off the board. Oh, Kevin Segrist. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Because he's a really good left-handed thrower, I needed one. And he's got a lot of different pitches. 4-seam fastball, changeup, curveball, slider. They all look different. So I got a couple different righties and a couple different lefties. Now I just need to finish off the bullpen and a second baseman, I believe. Third baseman. We're not going to get a very good third baseman. Hopefully we can pick him up later in a bench player round. I'm going to go with him just because he's got really good power. Now we go on to the bench players. This is where you want to look for super good speed or super good contact. I could go with Scooter, but I think I'm going to go with Angel Pagan just because he's a switch hitter and he's got pretty good speed. Next round, Matt Wieters is a switch hitter. I could go with him. I could go with Elvis Andrus or this guy who okay. This is where you want to draft a player like this. I just drafted a third baseman, but I don't like that third baseman. I was waiting for another player in the bench rounds. I'm going to go with Young Ho Kong, and get him and actually put him into the lineup instead of Brett Wallace. Next players, really fast guy right here. I'm going to go with him in left field, Jeremy Halsebaker. Next couple of guys, another good speed guy. Why not go with him? It's always good to have speed. And now I want really good contact guy if possible. Lots of good power there. I'm going to go with, well, look at Jose Bautista. I'm going to go with Michael Brantley, though, get another speed guy. That's something you can do. I wouldn't always recommend it, getting a lot of speed guys off the bench. But it works, and hopefully, you know, it's a 3-inning game. If you get a sole guy on base like I did in my draft, it's good to have speed guys that you can put in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this how to draft video. If you guys want to re-watch it a couple times, just make sure you're doing it right. Go ahead, be my guest. Make sure you leave a like, though, and subscribe. Hopefully we can get to 20 wins on this, and hopefully, you know, like I said, we can get to that 20-win mark, get a good card, and, you know, make a lot of stubs. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully you did enjoy this, and we'll see you tomorrow.